Welcome in. We are back. Best Ball and Brews. 2-week hiatus, but we're back drafting best ball teams on Underdog Fantasy. And today I have Megan with me from FanSpeak. Excited to have her jump on. She's sharp best ball mind. I think you placed like 5th in the Bulldog last year.
Yeah, the Bulldog was just released on Underdog last week, and last year I was in the Bulldog finals and placed 5th. So that was kind of fun. Had to run that back.
Nice. Definitely. How's the drafting season been going for you so far?
Great. It's like each year I get more and more into best ball. But yeah, the last 2 years, just absolutely obsessed with best ball. No other fantasy for this girl. It's best ball only. And actually, I specifically like Underdog the most. I've always just done, even in my DFS days, better on half point PPR sites. So absolutely love Underdog, love all their different offerings they give us, both, regular and then just keep throwing the different breeds with the good advance rates and everything. So yeah, just really enjoying best ball season and definitely getting even more volume down this season than even in years past.
Yeah, definitely. I'm with you on that. It's funny because in DFS, I lean towards DraftKings. I pretty much almost exclusively play on DraftKings, which is full PPR. Right. But Underdog is such an innovative company, and I just think they just have the best contest. So when it comes to best ball, like I play more on Underdog. Sure. I play a good amount on Drafters too, just because it's the softest probably of the three.
Right.
But I'm with you. I'm a big fan of Underdog.
Actually, even when I look back at my and I still play DFS, but even when I look at my DFS results, my best results have always actually been on FanDuel. So I'm like, okay, I guess I like hunting for touchdowns. I guess I don't have the whole PPR thing figured out.
I know. And sometimes it's so tilting when, like you're watching the leaderboards or whatever, and you got a sweat going and, someone chases you down and it's just like a total PPR scam. And it's just so tilting.
Right.
So I get that. So Megan, you've been doing, you've done some of the eliminator. What's the main contest I guess you've been focusing on? I know you mentioned the marathon when we were chatting earlier.
Yeah. I mean, as far as like the different offerings that Underdog is giving, probably the marathon and sprint are the two favorites of mine. Sprint, obviously, if anybody complains about pod luck, that sprint's your contest because you're not having to deal with that. You just have to have a team that can really be very powerful during the whole entire weeks 15 through 17 in the playoffs. Right. So I like the sprint and I love the marathon. I think it rewards. I did very limited entries last year, finished like 138th. So I won like $700 and it still has a week 17 sweat as long as you're, in that, I think top 200, it's like, well, it's something fun to sweat. So, we all know how hard the pods can be. And so I really like marathon. I think it rewards just good drafting and good teams and not having I had this juggernaut team that got knocked out, week 15 or week 16. Right. So I really, really like that. I mean, your luck is really needing just your team to stay generally healthy. So yeah, I'd say sprint and marathon, but I do like the eliminator. I mean, from an ROI perspective, may not be the best contest because I want to say it's down to like 12% by week 5 or something like that because it keeps going half and half and half. But from a sweat equity, a fun equity, certainly a fun sweat. We do a draft here, 6 of us will move on. And then the head-to-head nature certainly will have a lot of fun, stuff with Twitter or Discords or whatever, matching up with people. So definitely the eliminator. I want to still have my share just for the sweat and fun equity of it.
For sure. And it's funny because I've been kind of hammering the weekly winners because it's more of a DFS style contest.
Yeah.
And I like that. But as I got to thinking about it more and more, I'm like, the eliminator is really the contest you should be playing if you're just trying to be profitable, because after that first week, if you get back, you pass half. If you're half the field that survives, then it's just a head-to-head. So like if you go in the draft and you think about like I'm just building a cash lineup, like if you would on a DFS slate, I think that's kind of really the best way to attack it. And
I definitely think eliminator. Right? I definitely think eliminator. You're doing that kind of DFS cash lineup style mindset. Focusing on floor too, and all those kind of things as well. So yeah, I agree.
Perfect. Well, do you want to hop in one of those contests?
Let's do it.
All right, let's get in the eliminator. So you're welcome to draft with me, however you want to do it.
Oh, okay. I just assumed we did a team together.
No, we can do a team together.
Okay, great. Yeah, that works.
That's
Great.
what I want to do.
Yeah.
I guess especially we'll kind of see how fast it fills, and if
Yeah.
fast, we'll definitely have you hop in. But for those in the live stream, let's go ahead and do this. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now, we've normally been able to fill these pretty quick. We're waiting on 10 people. Let's see if I can ping some people in the Discord and get them going here.
Yeah, I do feel like of all these, Eliminator feels faster than sprint and marathon. So that's always nice.
Yeah, definitely. It's been the weekly winners has been filling pretty quick for me. I feel like that one actually filled like pretty early in August, so I'm not surprised. The Eliminator is lagging behind just a little bit, but not a lot.
Right. I think for the Eliminator, sprint, marathon, when people are concerned about the fill rates, I think a lot of people are probably waiting for training camp and preseason news for those types of contests.
Yeah.
Because especially the Eliminator, like, if an injury happens or something is just not what you think from a depth chart standpoint, that'll hurt really bad in this one, because you kind of got to be right early. It's not something that can grow later and hit later in the season. You really need it to be right week one. So I get why, honestly, especially Eliminator, marathon are kind of waiting to, or, wouldn't be surprised if it picks up now that training camps are starting.
Agreed. Actually, I had Neil Warfield on.
I love Neil. Yeah, he's great.
He's so great. I had him on a while ago, and he was saying, he's basically doing Eliminator content for his subscribers for his channel. And his strategy was that he wasn't going to draft really any Eliminator teams until like August, and really start hammering them.
That totally makes sense. Yeah. But at least now, training camps are starting. I think everybody will be officially started by tomorrow. So, yeah.
Definitely, yeah. I think 26 out of 32 teams have reported as of today, so that's good. I know. I appreciate being a gentleman. That's nice too. I know that, like, I'm a Broncos fan, so they technically start Friday. You got a team, Megan?
Yeah, Washington.
Nice.
Just kind of grew up a Washington fan and stuck through it to the new ownership. Thank God, because those were some rough years with Dan Snyder. But yeah, no, Washington fan. So
nice. Yeah, I mean, you got Jade and Dan. By the way, is this your brother?
Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah.
Okay.
So we do a lot of content together. Sibling Showdown on Thursdays on the FanSpeak Network. So yeah, that is my brother.
Yeah. I actually watched your guys' show. By the way, we got FanSpeak. We got their YouTube channel and their website in the video description. So check them out. Want to say the Best Ball Jeopardy is one of the most entertaining shows I've ever watched in fantasy sports.
That makes me so happy to hear. I need to pass it on to Bernie. He's our Alex Trebek of Best Ball, and I think he's just done an excellent job with it, and it is so fun. So thank you for saying that. I appreciate that.
Of course, yeah, definitely check out their channel. They do really good stuff. But
every Wednesday night. It's gonna have to get rescheduled next week. But Wednesday night we have a matchup tomorrow night. Quarterfinals matchup tomorrow night, 9:30 on the FanSpeak Network.
I'm a little behind because I went on vacation. Who's in that?
Tomorrow night is Candyman versus Bindles, and they're two guys that stream with each other. They have a show called Ballsy on Monday nights, and they actually stream together, and now they'll face off in the quarterfinals. So that's kind of fun. Neil actually beat Justin Herzig last week. So
did he?
No, sorry, not Neil. Cody from Off the Schneid beat Justin Herzig, and then Neil will be playing Nez next week. So,
dang, okay, that's impressive. I mean, anytime you can beat Justin Herzig in anything,
he's a sharp guy.
All right, so I think kind of want to take it back here. What do you think?
Yeah, who's the top of the board? I can't see. Is that
Puka, Derrick Henry?
Yeah, I'd say Henry. In this format, I lean running backs a little heavier earlier.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I'm just kind of the best ball player that I am, I typically try to like go wide receiver in the first round. But specifically in this format, knowing that it's like a cash game format,
right?
Like I really want to get that stud running back. If I can get, Christian McCaffrey, and we know that it's healthy Christian McCaffrey, he can end up as the running back 1.
Totally, yeah. So. And I think this format and marathon format. I'm not saying people that love zero RB shouldn't play it. It's going to be, I think, a little tougher.
Yeah,
with a zero RB mindset in this format.
For sure.
Because again, you need that projectable volume from week 1.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think more so in the eliminator than other contests, you want a very well-balanced team. Like you want, really good running backs, really good wide receivers that you can lean on each and every week as you would, when you're building a cash lineup, right?
Right.
So, that's definitely something to keep in mind. All right. So Brian Thomas, Drake London.
London or BTJ is fine here. I think BTJ has a really good matchup. I want to say they play Carolina. Somebody really easy week 1. I remember marking Jaguars as one of the teams I'd like to target in week 1 for eliminator, obviously.
Yeah. I agree with that. Honestly, I probably would have leaned to London there. But
I think they have a pretty good matchup week 1. I want to say they play the Panthers, but I want to say the Jaguars play maybe the Dolphins. I have to, maybe I should pull up week 1 schedule just to see, because you got to get out of the week 1 pod to make this a fun contest, right? Got to be one of the 6 out of 12. And I just remember Jaguar. Oh, okay. I'm sorry. It is Jaguars versus Panthers. So obviously Panthers defense is definitely, I think, one to attack. And then I remember the Falcons had a matchup that was interesting as well. Let me see if I can find that. Oh, Falcons Bucks. So division matchup first.
See, this is why I have you on here, because I hadn't even thought about week 1 matchups, a little bit of week 17. I haven't done, I guess I've done a decent amount of traditional best ball, in like the puppy and the schnauzer and whatnot. But I think most of the drafts I've done so far have been on drafters, which is like the marathon. So we're not really worried about week 17 stacking. Right. And then I've done a lot of weekly winners, and I've done about 10 of these eliminators. So I haven't thought too much about, the weeks, with the exception of like bye weeks. So that was kind of what made my decision. Brian Thomas I like that he has a later bye week. Because the further you get to the money, advancing each and every week, the better off you're doing. So I like guys that have late bye weeks.
Right. Oh, good to see Mike Robb in chat. He's always in FanSpeak chat, so I always appreciate him.
Is he? Okay.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Love it. And we got Ray here. He won the puppy last year.
That's right. The fast puppy. I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah. We got Drago in that. Drago is always a sharp drafter. I didn't see him in the chat, but I see his team right here. So we're about to be on the clock again.
Who's top of the board?
Let's see. All right. So Marvin Harrison Jr. just went. We got JSN, James Cook. Want to take another running back, probably?
Yeah, James Cook is fine. That's
Brees Hall.
Brees or James Cook, whoever you lean more into.
Let's take Brees.
The
reason why James Cook might be doing a camp hold in. I don't know if you saw that. Just a little sketch with that.
Yeah, I know.
He ran so hot on touchdown efficiency last year. I feel like he could regress. And I feel like Brees Hall is set to regress positively after last year, but could be wrong on that. What do you think?
Honestly, I haven't taken a ton of either. I take a lot of running backs first and second round. This is not a round I typically take as many running backs, but in this format I wanted to. So, I mean, I want to have some of both. I actually take more Ray Davis later in drafts. I thought he looked good last year. So, but no, I think either Brees or James Cook would have been fine there in week 1. But yeah, especially if there's any ramp up for Cook in this format, I definitely think you want. Yeah,
I agree with that wholeheartedly. And here's my thought process. Having an elite quarterback that has a high floor like Jalen Hurts is like very important in cash games. So
that works for me. Yeah, absolutely.
Good pick right here. Then we could look to hammer wide receiver for a bit. So
yeah, no, I agree with the elite, the elite quarterbacks here in this format. Like you said, it's kind of that cash game, DFS mentality. And you're a lot of times trying to jam those guys in. So I totally get that.
Yeah.
Who are Eagles? They kick it off. They kick off Cowboys. I was like, I know they kick off the season on Thursday night. Who is it against? It's the Cowboys. I could not remember.
Hopefully we can get a shootout.
Yeah. Hopefully. I think Dak and a healthy Dak, that passing game should be fun. I do not love any of those running backs for Dallas, so I'm hoping that just means it's a higher passing volume like it was 2 years ago. And I definitely need. Honestly, I was going through my exposures. I need more Dak and Dallas passing game stacks. So yeah, let's start that early.
I need more Dak stacks too. I've been trying to get a lot of Lamb, but I'm with you. So yeah, what is this about? Yeah, Church of Scattaboo. Tell me.
I'm just my brother got me hooked on Cam Scattaboo like right as the big board draft started. So I have just an alarming amount of Cam Scattaboo. So that's what this is. Like people in the FanSpeak chats give me a hard time. And I don't care because, it's not like he's great. Like first few rounds or getting him in the 9th, 10th round, 9th round. So I'm going to be way overweight on Cam Scattaboo. Let's say that. And if he has a good season, I'll be a happy girl.
I mean, you got to have your guys that you like.
Yes. Right. Exactly. Especially when they're like mid to late rounds. I feel like you can go, a little heavier exposure on the later they are. What are the top of the board or the top of the receivers? I can't see the list as well.
Right here?
Yeah.
DJ, Sutton, Metcalf. I mean,
I feel like Sutton is like a kind of a more floor play if you wanted to play it that way.
I was going to go there too.
Or Metcalf, just because he'll be there you go. Okay. Yeah.
I haven't taken a ton of Sutton, so I'll gladly take him right there.
I feel like this is his format. This is the format you got to like him in for sure. And they play. Now I want to know who the Broncos play week 1.
Tennessee, and they're 7.5 point favorites.
There we go. Okay, that nice. I know. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, you're a Broncos fan. There. Okay.
Yeah. I would be a little worried about Mims this year, but that's just me as a Broncos fan. I think he's going to be very boomer bust, which can be good, but where he's going, I don't know that it's good. But I love Chase Brown.
He is so exciting. He makes these big splash plays, but it does seem like he's not going to get a consistent, route share and stuff like that.
Right.
So, yeah.
It's a little concerning.
There you go.
Yeah, Ray, I'm going to have a lot of Taj Brooks here this year.
Yeah, I like Taj. My brother, it was his favorite sleeper in big board, and now the landing spot with the Bengals, I'm definitely going to have a ton of Taj Brooks too.
For sure. I mean, if Chase Brown gets hurt, like Taj Brooks could be the guy you need for sure.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Who's top of the board?
We got Waddle, Harvey, Jennings, Hunter, Olave. Definitely not Hunter.
No, yeah, because we have actually, Dolphins has a great matchup. Dolphins, I don't mind. Dolphins are not a team I'm drafting. They play the Colts. The Colts defense is definitely one to attack. And obviously now the target tree is a lot more condensed for the Dolphins. So I don't draft a ton of Dolphins because I'm very worried about the fragility of the whole season for the Dolphins. But Eliminator would be where I have been drafting some Dolphins because great week 1 matchup. And, if you're pairing them with other teams, then, okay, help me get out of week 1 with a good matchup against the Colts week 1. So
I agree with that. Listen, if Tua stays healthy, like the Dolphins could have a resurgence this year, especially if Tyreek Hill's wrist is fine.
Right. Yeah. I'm not drafting it that way. I'm trying to hedge my bets and draft them some,
exactly.
Even though I have them ranked lower. I'm trying to hedge my bets and draft them some, but I'm definitely just scared about that the wheels could just come off the wagon this year.
I agree. Yeah. And it's funny because I haven't gotten a lot of like Tua stacks for that reason. Like, I just don't know that he can play the full season, but I have gotten a decent amount of Waddle, and, you know, I've been trying to get some Tyreek, and I probably need to be more aggressive and get Tyreek.
Yeah, I'm trying to force myself to. But especially in this, Waddle feels good, you know, to have, you know, again, with a more condensed target tree. I like that here. So what's we have 1, 2, 3?
2 picks away.
Okay.
We got 2 running backs, 3 wide receivers. It looks like, I mean, I don't like the running back. I don't like Warren in this format.
No.
It's like Shakir, or maybe we go down and get Hawkinson.
Shakir or Hawkinson for me. Shakir is definitely a great floor play. But I really do. I actually, if he comes back, is how many picks until we're up?
Hawkinson?
Yeah.
8. He could make it back.
If he makes it back, you know, Addison's most likely going to be out, at least the first 2 to 3 weeks. So you have to, Hawkinson's another. There's certain guys that or teams, Dolphins are a team I like better in the eliminator. There are certain guys I like better in the eliminator just simply for their week 1 matchup or their week 1 situation. You know, maybe the Chiefs, when we find out, obviously the exact suspension, you like more the Chiefs, or certainly I like Hawkinson in this range, knowing that Jordan Addison won't be playing week 1 or 2, probably.
I knew Tattoo was going to do that. He was never going to let him. And this is the problem with having people in the stream with you, is they're never going to let them come back to you.
Totally. Yeah, we lose a little edge when we stream, don't we? Yeah.
Right. We definitely do. And, you know, everyone knows who your guys are if you've done a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, totally. Yeah, definitely.
All right. So
what's top of the board?
Pearsall, Downs.
I like Pearsall as long as that hamstring. I think he should be coming off the PUP list soon. So Pearsall down.
Because I saw the report right before it came on that he was actually expected to be off the PUP after like a few days of training camp. So
yeah, I thought I saw that today.
Yeah. If he's healthy, we're gonna be great because Ayuk's gonna miss half the season.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
Flashed at the end of the year. So
what are the running backs coming up and other quarterback stacks? Is Purdy still there?
Purdy probably, yeah, he's there. I just don't know that I'd want to take another quarterback so soon after taking Hurts.
Yeah, he would be another stack I'd be interested in, though, especially week 14. It's later, you know, and then it's stacked up, obviously, with Pearsall. What are the running backs you have queued?
So Judkins, but he's probably going to be suspended to start the year. Stevenson and J.K. Dobbins.
I like Ramondre Stevenson. I have to think like it might take some time for Henderson to kind of work in and get a full. I assume we already passed the Scatavo range. I'm guessing
he's coming up. Actually, we might be able to get him.
Yeah, I'd say Ramondre Stevenson or Scatavo. You know, I mean, I'm just a believer that it's going to be like it'll be a split backfield with him and Tracy. I believe that he's the 1A based on his talent. He was drafted. He actually was drafted. You know, they both were day 3 guys, but like my brother points out, one was early first round and one of the best running back classes ever. One was late 5th round during the comp picks in one of the worst running back classes ever. There is a talent difference, in my opinion, between him and Tracy. Tracy also had some fumbling issues last year. So I don't know, maybe Scatavo doesn't make the move from the jump, but I'm even comfortable with him in this format.
Well, you know, there he went. Scam Newton took him from you. So we won't be able to get him, but maybe.
If Ramondre is still there,
If Drago does. See, I was thinking about taking Evan Ingram too because I would like to get a tight end soon, but let's take Ramondre here. That's a good pick.
It feels good to get 3, you know, again, in marathon and eliminator especially, I want to get those 3 projectable volume running backs, and we accomplished that with this. I mean, at least that are getting some that aren't just totally contingent, you know, or have no value really unless they're you know their other running mate gets hurt. So I like having that with these 3.
Most definitely, and talent evaluators liked him. So you know, we've had a lot of conversations around Scadaboo on this channel, right?
Okay.
I have 0 of him. I have more Tracy, but I respect Megan's opinion here, and I think it's time that like I need to start getting some Scadaboo, because one of the things that I'm going to do just from being a DFS player, I've learned this, just playing 150 lineups, is like, even if you don't really like a guy, like, you still need to get some exposure to them so that
Yeah, I'm forcing myself to take Tracy. So
yeah. All right, so it could take. I like Spears.
Yeah, that's. I mean,
taking Joku, get a tight end.
Either one is fine with me. I assume there's no quarterback stacks at this point, right?
We're gonna auto. Had to take Spears there.
That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Again, getting more running backs is never a problem. I'm a late round tight end girl, so
I am too.
You'll never. I'll never have a problem with kind of building out a later tight end room, especially this year. The value feels. You can get a room of. I'm just making this up off the top of my head, like a. I don't even know I know that these two have the same bye week, but I was about to say like Ferguson, Gesicki, and Ertz or something like that. And 2 of those do have the same bye week. But my point is you could get a later tight end room that feels like it cobbles together enough touchdown upside, which is really what we're looking in half point PPR from our tight end position.
I agree. And, it's funny because when I do cash game content for DFS Army, I always say like you want to pay down at tight end because it's
it's such a
high variance position. So it's like, pay down a tight end, because how many times have we seen it? The tight end's in a great spot and they're priced up and then they end up with like 6 points,
Oh, in DFS, I totally love like punting off tight end, the $3,000 tight end, so I'm right there with you. They're giving you your tight end girl too, Fling. That's funny.
For sure. Yeah. Well, and this is such a good tight end rookie class that I'm like, there's a lot of value throughout the draft.
Oh yeah. Ferguson and Loveland, and now Arroyo might have a role with Seattle. Yeah. So no, I absolutely agree there.
Yeah. And you can get these guys super late, really. Okay. So
what are we looking at the quarterback position? Because I think having a solid number 2 would be nice.
We can get Trevor Lawrence.
Nope. Oh, if
he just went.
Okay.
Stroud. Let's see.
Was McCarthy there at the top, or did I read that?
McCarthy is at the top.
I mean, he's got a little rushing. I know we don't have a stack build, but you know how it is in cash games. You don't need that, so he's got a little rushing for too that I think is nice. I would probably go him, or who's under Stroud or McCarthy.
Yeah, I'll take McCarthy. That's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's getting a second, kind of a quarterback that's offers a little rushing upside, which I think is fun. Oh, okay. Ivan took Lawrence. Yeah, that would have been fun with Brian Thomas, but
yeah, I knew Ivan. I knew you were going to do that to me. You do that often. It's okay though. I'll allow it. Yeah, and there's some really good tight ends here. We could take Kraft. Warren, if you think he's going to play the Taysom Hill role, Tyler Warren on steroids, I'm about it.
I really like Tyler Warren this year. Yeah, I definitely have him ranked above ADP.
And then we got Ferguson and Goddard, which would perfectly be fine.
Yeah, I like all those, honestly. All those tight ends are, I think, great for this format, and tight ends that I'm honestly on this year in best ball. So, and that's what I'm talking about. If you start tight end in this range, I feel perfectly comfortable.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. That's why it's, more times than not, I'm like, let's just take the wide receiver that you want, or the running back, and then, the tight end. A really good tight end is going to be waiting there for you.
Right.
So I think go Ferguson over Loveland.
Yeah, I think especially being a rookie, I'd say Ferguson. Yeah. I mean, not that you have to stack up week 1, but you then have a week 1 bring back to Hurts too. So if it does shoot out, maybe maybe you get a little back and forth in that Dallas Philly game to kick off the NFL season.
The week 1 is sharp because you still need to beat half the field. So I like that.
Yeah.
After week 1, I don't care about stacking at all. But
no, No, I'm just kind of looking for teams and players that either I like their role week one, like they just like Hawkinson, with Addison out, or maybe some Kansas City players with Rice out, or a good matchup like we talked about Miami or the Jaguars, oh wow, I really like their matchup. I also like Aaron Rodgers because that guy likes a good revenge story, and the Steelers are playing the Jets week one.
That's true. I forgot.
Didn't sound like it was a good breakup, So
No.
I would have to say I would think that he'd want to stick it to him a little bit. So as a third quarterback, you could do worse.
Well, and as a Broncos fan, I tell you, I could have told you that wasn't going to work out. Saw that coming a mile away with Nathaniel Hackett as the offensive coordinator.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, that was a disaster. I actually feel for Jets fans though, because that sucks. You finally get a good quarterback, and then he tears his Achilles. First game.
Yeah, the run out was just absolutely terrible for sure.
Yeah. All right, so let's see where we're at here. We're set on quarterback. We definitely need maybe a couple more tight ends. We're probably good on wide receiver for now. Maybe we could take another one. Maybe another running back. Let's see what the board's like. I would love to take Likely. I'm a big Likely fan.
Yeah. His week one last year was insane.
Yeah. And he does not have the same bye as Ferguson, so that's important in case we only take two. We're doing pretty good on buys. We got two guys the same week 12, but by week 12, we'll be way in the money, so I'd be happy with that.
What are the numbers? 2-4-6-2 or 2-4-5-2? Okay.
2-4-5-2 so far.
Okay. No, that's good. I think you're looking for balance in this type of build, generally speaking. I don't think any kind of fragile type builds are the way to go with Eliminator.
Yeah. And I'm very interested to get your thoughts when we get to the marathon, of what's your strategy for that. Now, you could be wrong, but I think I heard in drafters you finished, or was it in the marathon last year? You finished top 100.
It was 138 in marathon. So I had like a week 17 sweat. Josh Allen was my main quarterback, and he actually didn't. He had that insane week 15 against the Lions, I believe, but it was week 17 wasn't as awesome, but it was a fun sweat, and I did it on limited entries, and I just really do like the format. So I really like the marathon a lot.
Definitely. Okay.
So what's top of the board there?
Gino, we're not taking him. Henry, Jaden Blue, Bigsby, Wright, Demario Douglas. I actually do like Demario Douglas.
Yeah, I don't mind Henry either, but that's totally works to get a sixth receiver.
Yeah, I have heard of a lot of buzz that Demario Douglas is going to play the slot role in Josh McDaniels' offense, and the slot role in Josh McDaniels' offense is golden. As far as floor. So I'm hoping
that's a good point. We're thinking, especially in this contest, floor.
Yeah.
And I believe it's Patriots Raiders week one.
Okay. That could be good.
Yeah.
Could be good.
So we have four. What are the running backs there?
We got Henry, Breece Hall, Ramondre, and Tajay Spears. So
what are the running backs top of the board available?
Board. Bigsby, Jalen Wright. I haven't clicked Jaden Blue's name one time, and I don't think I will.
Neither will I.
Roshan, Miles Sanders. So it's kind of a dead zone. Jalen Wright's been one of my guys that I've been taking, but he's just went off the board.
I would say Roshan could be intriguing in something like this, because what if it's really he gets more of and these are the kind of camp news information that we'll hear about, but what if he gets more of that like goal line role? If he was still there, that's a great fifth running back, I think.
Well, you know what? And I remember a lot of last year was in DFS, he was like vulturing touchdowns from DeAndre Swift.
Right.
So to your point, that could be a good role for him. Maybe he grows even more this year because he was already getting some goal line carries last year.
Right. Right. Hopefully we don't get sniped on this one.
I know. Got Drago. He's just waiting to click that button. I just know it. All right, he's available. Let's do it.
All right, I like it.
Bigsby was one of my guys last year. He
got
same for a minute.
Same, yeah. No, he actually was on my marathon team. That
yeah.
And he was one that can, for where I got him, definitely contributed because you're just kind of looking for contributors all over the board, and he definitely contributed.
It's funny because same type of format, although half PPR versus full PPR, but the drafters million last year I was in halfway through the season. I was like in 100th place, and I think I had Bigsby on that team, and then I had Tracy, and I had Javante, and Javante just crapped in his helmet the rest of the year, totally crushed me.
Yeah,
Bigsby didn't do a whole lot down the stretch either.
Right.
Hopefully, though, I think he has a potential to bounce back, but we'll see. All right, let's see how this is going. All right, so
is there 3 more picks left or 2?
Yeah, I think 4.
Okay.
No, 3. You're right.
3. Okay. Just out of curiosity, is Aaron Rodgers still there?
I think he just got picked.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, I will probably do a lot of 3-5-7-3 in this particular build just to kind of have it balanced. And again, he is a quarterback I'm targeting for kind of the matchup week 1 and the revenge narrative. But
yeah. I think that's a good idea. I took Chig there just because I didn't love the wide receivers in that range. We already got 5 running backs. Definitely got to get 1 to 2 more wide receivers. So we have 6.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And there's a lot of receivers that I think I'd have to see the bye weeks, but if you think Keenan Allen's going to sign, if he's still there, if you think, I hope and think I'm drafting him as if he's going to sign.
For sure.
A guy like Slayton is going late and absolutely has a role, where it's not just like is going to need time. I mean, they paid. He actually got paid. So like a Slayton, I think that's a really good target late for a receiver. So yeah, there's kind of some nice receiver. I agree with you. There's like pockets of receiver that are totally gross, but like for the price, there's definitely receivers that are pretty interesting here.
Yeah, I agree. Coker's a guy I've been getting. I probably avoid him here just because I want to like pump the brakes on my Coker exposure.
Right.
but he's kind of he popped last year, and I think Draft Sharks they had some data on him, and he had a routes per run. He was like one of the top guys last year.
Yeah, it'll be just so interesting. That's going to be one camp news that I'm really interested to see, it being more crowded there now.
Absolutely. So we got 8 seconds here. I think we take Keenan Allen if he's available.
That works for me.
Just because I have a hard time. He played well last year, and I just have a hard time seeing him not being signed by someone,
It would seem very odd. I mean, obviously, I'm surprised, with the 49ers injury situation. It feels like the 49ers are going back to the Chargers, with Mike Williams retiring made the most sense. So I'm honestly surprised it hasn't happened yet, but I have to believe something will happen. And you have to think he wants to go to like a team like that, like the 49ers or Chargers, that playoff aspirations. I mean,
I would agree with that 100%. And yeah, that would make a ton of sense. Chargers.
What are you thinking? What are you thinking for this last pick?
My lean so far, I was kind of thinking Jarquez Hunter or Coker, but I don't know. What are your thoughts? Because with a guy like Jarquez Hunter, it's nice that I think he'll have some standalone value as kind of the receiver.
Yeah.
And maybe it could be a bigger role, but I don't know.
As long as we're good on buys the receiver, I'd say that. I assume are all like the true starting quarterbacks. You're to like the Tyler Shuck range, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Then I would go Jarquez Hunter.
Yeah. for sure. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. He's still there. Let's do it, and then I'll wrap this one up. So pretty good. I think, we got the elite quarterback with Jalen Hurts. We took J.J. McCarthy and the Kevin O'Connell offense. So, I expect him to have some spike weeks, and Hurts is going to carry us most of the way.
Right. Absolutely.
We got Henry, could easily finish as a top 3 for sure. Brees Hall, Ramondre, Tajay Spears, Roschon, and Jarquez Hunter. So
I like that.
Yeah, I think it's a good running back room. We got some stable horses there, and then we got, some guys who could vulture and have some standalone value in itself. What are your thoughts on Tajay Spears this year? Do you think he's going to take a step?
I've been taking more Pollard, but I'm honestly needing to take more Spears because I don't want to in that situation where, it's definitely kind of 1A, 1B. I want to make sure I'm getting some of Spears as well.
Right. Yes, Tattoo. We'll look at your draft real quick, for sure. And Ivan, I know you always have a good draft. So we'll just finish this up here with the wide receivers. I think we did well. We got B2J, Sutton, Waddle, Shakir. I think overall we got a lot of floor here. The same thing with Ricky Pearsall. As long as he's healthy, I think he's going to have a good floor. IU could have missed half the season.
Yep.
Love the tight ends with Ferguson, Likely, and Chig.
Love that. Yep.
So yeah, overall pretty good.
I like that. I think it's built for the eliminator well. But yeah, I like it a lot.
For sure. Agreed. Thank you. All right. So let's look at Tattoo's draft. He started with 3 running backs. I like that. I think he did pretty well at wide receiver for starting from the 12 hole and, going triple tapping running backs. So Adams, Ridley, Pickens.
Nice.
Then went Hawkinson, Tracy, Dak, Shaheed, Tyler Warren, Hollywood, Leggett. And let's see, we got 3 quarterbacks here with Joe Milton. See, that's a homer pick there. Tattoo. You're a Cowboys fan. That's what are we doing here in the eliminator?
Did he have Dak too?
Yeah, he does have Dak.
So he's basically handcuffing the room and just saying, I've done that a couple times with Washington, actually, more in obviously super flex drafts. But I've occasionally gotten in, weird because it's like, you'll be like literally the only one that will own it,
Yeah, for sure. Hey, Tom, good to see you.
I love Tom.
Nothing but love, brother.
Yeah, Tom's great. I was just watching a show when I was getting ready for this show.
Yeah. I got to catch up. I was on vacation 2 weeks. I'm watching, like all these shows at 2x speed to try to catch up. I got to catch up on some of Tom's shows. But I'll say this, Tattoo. I like this start, but I don't think you're strong enough at wide receiver, in my opinion. I would have not taken Hawkinson, and I would have kept going at a wide receiver here if you were going to start with that triple running back approach from 12, but that's just me. And I wouldn't have taken Joe Milton, but I do like a lot of your picks. Josh Reynolds, he's number 2, but it's for Fields. So I like it more in, I think, traditional best ball than I would in the eliminator.
I'm hoping Mason Taylor. I've been drafting Mason Taylor like he'll be the number 2 target for the Jets. I hope I'm right there.
Yeah. I've been drafting a good amount of him for that too, because Fields did throw to Cole Kmet a lot.
Yes. So. Yes. I think a lot of us are connecting that dot and hoping that works. Yeah. All
right. Well, we're going to we're going to hop into the marathon here in a second. In fact, let's do that. And if we can come back to this, if we have a long wait, we can look at some more lineups.
Sometimes the marathon, I was in watching Neil Warfield and Mathology stream yesterday, and it usually takes a little bit to get it filled.
Oh,
wow.
We might not even had anyone hop in with us. We might have just got lucky. We'll see. Hopefully one of these guys made it. Nobody made it. I was going to do a countdown.
You never know. You never know. I would have thought you'd click it and it would be like 9, 9 to go or something. That's usually what it is every time I try to get in a fast marathon.
Yeah. Sorry about that, guys. That's happened a couple times on the show, but you never know. Oh, Ray made it. I lied. Nice. Ray made it. Okay.
Nice.
We got one. So, now that we're in the marathon, you wrote a whole article on this, Megan.
Yes.
So tell me, what are some of your takeaways for this contest? Just kind of cliff notes, I guess, for people who haven't read it. And, what kind of strategies are you leaning into in this so far this year?
Yeah, a similar thing to the Eliminator, actually, in that fairly balanced build, first of all. Second of all, again, if you love zero RB, I'm not saying don't, I'm just saying this may not be the best contest for it, because again, every week means the exact same. It's not like we're back weighting production. Every week means the front, and we're not front weighting to get through like Eliminator. It is literally every week means the exact same. So where the luck comes in is needing our team to stay healthy. What the players you might avoid are players that, or at least are going to dock or move down your rankings or feel like you're getting a discount. You're going to need to draft the players that, whether they're injury prone or suspended, or we don't know their suspension yet, but definitely risk, or coming back from injury. You should dock those guys. I love Chris Godwin's of the world, but he should be going, he needs to go, you need to feel like you're getting some value on him and something like this, because it could take a little ramp up. So I think those are key factors. Same with rookies. I love rookies. We all love rookies. Now, I will say this rookie running back class. So now McCaffrey, I am a big McCaffrey. I believe he has got another RB1 season. So I would go McCaffrey here, but it's
all right. I'm good with it. Let's do it.
So I know people would be like, you just said injury prone. Listen, all the reports that we've heard so far is he looks great. And that's vastly different from last summer. So I'm operating under that and hoping I'm right. Everything went wrong for the 49ers last year that possibly could, basically. And they still put up a lot of points. So I'm very in on the 49ers offense. If they can stay relatively healthy, they have the easiest strength of schedule. And I just want to target that in a hopefully bounce back season. So I think you're docking a lot of those players, rookies, guys coming back from injury, guys that are suspended, guys that are super injury prone, stuff like that. This is not a contest that I'd take to it. And now you're getting a discount on that. So if you feel like the risk is worth the reward, you're certainly getting a discount on it. If you're not risk adverse to that, go for it. And if he stays healthy and performs, then maybe you get a great price. For me, I might draft him twice or something. It's just, he's got a big injury profile. So, so it's those kind of big factors, I'd say, as far as the types of players I'm looking for. But basically you're looking to hit an 18-leg parlay, not that you have to be right for every single round, but you're looking to hit who's the best player in each round, who's going to, make value in rounds 1 and 2 and exceed value the rest, middle, late, end of the draft, who's going to exceed that value, outperform their ADP, outperform their positional draft, their draft position for their position. So the positional value is huge. I drafted Kittle and Jonnu Smith, and they finished tight end 1 and 3. And so Kittle was, this year, maybe I'll finish that after we make this pick.
I like Lad here. What do you
Love
think?
it. Love it. Yeah.
Okay.
Love Lad. Kittle, obviously you drafted him last year, similar around, I think he was round 5 last year, but he finished tight end 1 in total points scored for the weeks 1 through 17 for tight ends. Jonnu, I believe, was tight end 2 or 3, but I drafted him as, I can't remember even what tight end he was going as last year, but I probably got him in the 13th, 14th round. I mean, really late. So, when you can get those guys that are massively outperforming their ADP, that's huge. And, I know Underdog Network wrote an article last year, basically, and during week 17, this is who you wanted to draft every round. This is who you didn't want to draft every round.
Yeah.
Basically, you want to be you basically want to be in the range of, I drafted a lot of the guys of this is who you should have drafted this round. And, there will be multiple in each round, but you kind of, I said, want to kind of hit that parlay. And again, I think it rewards good drafting. I think it rewards good player takes. Again, because guys that can outperform their ADP.
Yeah, because so many times, like you think about your fantasy league, right? How many times did you have the best draft in your league? Like your home league at least, right? And you had the best team all year, and then you get to the playoffs and you just had one bad week. And I've had championships that I should have won where I had the best team and I had a down week, and I've been on the other side of that where I shouldn't have won, but I had a huge spike week. So what I love about this is you get rewarded for having the best draft.
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So no, I absolutely love that as well. And that's why for the running back, when I was starting to say about like zero RB, I think you have to have some projectable volume here at running back. Like you can't just be, hitting on those guys that are going to have contingent value upside. So yeah, I like getting players, at least 3 to 4 running backs that have a lot of projectable volume. So who are you liking in this range?
I like Garrett Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr., JSN.
I'd probably go Marvin Harrison, but if you prefer Garrett, that's totally fine for me.
I'm with it because I like a very talented guy who had an underwhelming rookie year and potentially have a big bounce back.
Right.
Because if we think about it, last year he was going at the 1-2 turn, wasn't he? Like at the beginning of the 2 turn.
Yeah. So yeah. And he still had 8 touchdowns last year. It just didn't seem like the routes were hopefully things are designed better for him this year.
Yeah. Couldn't agree more. I mean, and a lot of it is Kyler. Like Kyler is I was joking about this in my in our league chat yesterday. I saw Kyler Murray is like one of the top chess players on chess.com, like pro athlete chess players. And I'm like, okay, so he plays Call of Duty, he plays chess. When does Kyler Murray focus on football?
Yeah. when he's studying the playbook. Yeah.
I mean, the fact that they had to write that into his contract was a little concerning.
Yeah, that's why I've never been a Kyler girl. And for that reason, honestly, that makes me a little nervous. So who do you like coming up? So who are the top of the board?
We got Evans, James Cook. I was thinking about taking Hurts. He just went.
Okay.
I like Worthy here.
Yeah, I'd say Evans or Worthy. Just because.
Let's take Worthy. I haven't gotten enough of him, and it's interesting because I've been kind of fading Rashee Rice, but
me too.
Because I think Worthy I just think Worthy is a superior talent to Rashee Rice. And I think we saw him come on last year, and it's more than just the deep ball stuff. He just looked dynamic on the field. And then you have the looming Rice suspension. And I'm just kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't buy more Worthy earlier when he was, further down in ADP.
Right. Yeah. No, I always was drafting more Worthy than Rice. And same, I probably should have bought more.
Yeah. At least we can get him now, right?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is what our 4th round or 5th round pick?
Yeah, 5th round pick.
Okay.
I have queued up stacking options: Herbert, Purdy, Murray. What are your kind of thoughts, I guess, on the rest of this?
Because we're coming up, and I'd probably look at running backs here. Yeah. Ideally one not with a week 14 bye, and someone like a good projectable volume to pair with McCaffrey. So that's Mixon. Who's under Mixon?
Kamara.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I would be fine with any of those, kind of whatever. I mean, I think this one you do need to lean into your player takes because, again, who do you think is going to outperform? Because is Kenneth Walker gone? He's always my favorite. Yeah,
he just went.
Okay, yeah, he's my favorite. In fact, I was charting stuff and looking at combos, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much McCaffrey, Kenneth Walker, because I did what we just did, where I do McCaffrey, a couple receivers, and then go back to Kenneth Walker, and I was like, maybe I should mix that up a little bit.
Right.
But yeah, I would go Mixon or Kamara, something to get a second projectable volume running back.
Let's do Mixon.
That works.
I think Houston is going to be a good team again this year. I think they can be a better team than they were last year. As long as Mixon is healthy, we don't have to worry about him, right? Like he's a good talent. Kamara is such a PPR scam. Like he didn't score touchdowns last year. And I think New Orleans is probably going to be worse than they were last year. So I'm a little worried about like Kamara,
yeah, I have been too. I'm taking him still, but I am a little more worried about him. That's why honestly I take so much Kenneth Walker, because in that range, I like Chuba and Kenneth Walker before we get to this next tier of running backs. And then I like the David Montgomerys, Connors, that kind of, and then there's some rookies I like. And I will say it's not that you can't draft rookies in this, especially for this running back class. I mean, this running back class, it should be generationally very good and deep. And so I think they could still make, a long-term impact. I had Ladd McConkey on my team. It's not like he even started from the very beginning, but he ended up being a very powerful piece to my marathon team. So who do you like here?
So we could take Jennings if we want to do a Purdy stack, or we could do David Montgomery, DeAndre Swift.
I like Jennings or Montgomery, whichever way you'd rather go. All
right, let's just do Jennings and try to queue up that stack. But
yeah, that works. I mean, I have a lot of Purdy stacks already in marathon, and I like that approach a lot.
Yeah, for sure.
Again, I'm just really betting on a 49ers, bounce back this year.
Yeah. I agree. And I like being able to stack McCaffrey with Purdy too, just because he throws to him so much.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
But that was tempting not to take Montgomery there, but we'll see. Hopefully we can get one of these guys on the way back. I haven't taken hardly any Pollard. I'd be open to taking him there if Jones and Pacheco and Swift are gone.
So is that the top of the board now? Pacheco, Jones, Swift?
Yeah, for running back.
And Pollard.
Unless you want to take Judkins, which
no.
I mean, maybe if you got Ford, right? Would that be something you would do? Would you actually handcuff in the marathon or no?
If the price is right, like a mid, I think I was just watching the show with Neil Warfield and Mathology and talking about the marathon. And I believe the guy last year did handcuff, and I can't remember who it was, but he did have a handcuff in his first place team. I wouldn't do it a lot, and I probably wouldn't do it with a super expensive player. But like a mid-range late, I'd probably be open to that, or even the Pollard Spears or something, and just say, oh, I'm getting, or even the Chicago room, or two of the Chicago room. I'd be interested in potentially doing something like that.
Yeah. There's been some teams where I've taken both J.K. Dobbins and R.J. Harvey, just because I think there's going to be weeks where they're both usable.
Right.
Because, Harvey's going to be more of the receiving guy. So.
Right. Or can oscillate too, kind of ping pong as well.
Yeah.
So did Pollard went, right?
Yeah. Pollard went, Jones went, Pacheco. So we could take Brian Robinson.
What number are we coming up at?
We're 79.
Who are the other receivers there?
Pearsall, Jordan Addison, Diggs.
Oh, I like Diggs a lot, actually.
Yeah, me too.
It opens up another stack as well.
Yeah.
He should just be the dominant alpha receiver for the Patriots. And so, yeah.
He's had quite a summer. I've been taking him, and just wide receiver one energy,
Yes, definitely. And I love Drake May. I'm super high on Drake May. I feel like we could be getting a big discount on that, floor ceiling rushing combo. When you're playing DFS this year, is he going to be the one that's priced starting price is going to be so much lower than what his end of the season price is, just because of what he offers. I think that's definitely in the range of outcomes.
Absolutely. I've been getting a lot of May. Cam Ward's a guy I've been getting a lot of. I try to, in a lot of those builds, I try to get at least one of those running quarterbacks, that brings that good floor. And if they end up, playing really well, then they bring the ceiling too, if they're playing really well throwing the ball.
Right.
So, we saw with Jaden Daniels last year, of course, we saw it with Bo Nix to really almost the same degree, except, he was going so late. So earlier in the season, he was running a lot. It's a good floor.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, no, absolutely. What number are we coming up at now?
So we're 90.
Okay. I was going to say, and then what's our next one? Because Purdy, unless you wanted to
wait on Purdy, maybe take a running. I don't know. The running backs are terrible right here. Unless we want to take Warren or Mason.
Jordan Mason?
Yeah.
Oh, I like Jordan Mason a ton. Yeah.
I haven't gotten any of him. Let's do that.
And then hopefully with the next pick, that's more in the Purdy range, right?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Purdy is 102. So.
Yeah, for whatever reason, Purdy's fallen to me more, I guess, ideally or more naturally, I should say, in marathon drafts than he has in other contests. Like I was looking and I was under 10% on him in classic contests, and that surprised me because I love the 49ers. I love Purdy. I didn't understand why, but in marathon I had way over the field. So I guess it's just the way it's fallen for me.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to actively get more Purdy and Dak Prescott, and trying at this point, obviously, with just 4 or 5 weeks to go, trying to push certain combos, push certain stacks that I'm like, whoa, okay, I need more of that.
Who do you feel like you really need to get a lot of in the next month? Because for me, it's kind of been I have too much Cam Ward and I need to back off Cam Ward a little bit.
Okay.
Do you have anyone that you're trying to get more of in the next month or so?
Probably Prescott and Purdy are the two where I'm like, I love them both. It's just there are so many. I've talked about it all summer long. This round 8 through 13. There's 24 starting quarterbacks that go there that don't have much bench risk. That that window is just it's so full of great quarterback options, and so I don't think it's a product of not liking them or anything. It's just I like so many other quarterbacks in that range too. So I think actively Prescott and Purdy are the two that I'm trying.
Yeah, I like that, and it's funny because 2 years ago. It was Dak and CeeDee Lamb and first. And when I was looking at winning lineups across all platforms, those names just kept coming up near the top of the leaderboards, So I'm with you. If
is Purdy there or did he?
Yes, he is. Let's say
okay, perfect.
If we can get a healthy season of Dak, with the addition of George Pickens and really no running backs in that stable, I think it could be a good year for them.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
So
what number are we coming up at then?
We're going to be picking at 114. We can double tap quarterback potentially, or we can, just wait. Maybe Herbert will fall to us. I think I'd like to push Herbert. What do you think?
Yeah, Herbert usually falls. It's just how much do you want him, or who else is on the board. So who else is top of the board there?
So Shaheed, Higgins, Coleman, Bateman. At running back, we got Charbonnet, Stevenson, and Dobbins. I wouldn't mind taking Dobbins here.
That's fine. I really like getting, not just relying on on handcuffs in this situation. So now you can get exciting with if you want to do another one or two, now they can be more upside swings later. But now you feel okay, I've got good projectable volume there.
Absolutely. And I think right now Dobbins is actually projected to be the starter in Denver. I don't know how much that means. I still think, both him and Harvey are going to play a lot, but at least we know he's not just going to be coming in and getting, 5 to 10 carries a game. I think it's probably going to be closer to 10 to 15 touches a game at least.
Yeah, he's actually one that I need to get more of. It was just I was wary where he was going to land, and then his price rose so quick that I didn't get enough. And so, there's also skill position players like him that I need to get more access to this last month as well.
Yeah, I agree with that.
So is the hope that Herbert falls back to the next pick that you grab Herbert with Ladd, right?
Yes. And let me make sure week 12 bye, week 14 bye. So that would go quite nice. We're 7 picks away. Not going to count my chickens before they hatch. We got Tucker Kraft. We could take a tight end. We could wait.
What are the other tight end? I mean, I like Kraft. If Herbert gets taken, are there any other tight ends that you like in this area?
I mean, I guess we could take Loveland. I am a big Loveland fan.
Yeah, I definitely am. I mean, he made me more nervous for Eliminator. Like, could he start slow?
Sure.
But I mean, especially if he's paired with the right tight ends, I think he's a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with that. How many drafts are you planning on doing this year?
It's kind of. I'm actually more of like like I don't do like the smaller I'm not like maxing like the schnauzers and the puppies and that kind of stuff. Like I'm more of like a I don't know how to say this, but like a quality over quantity. Like I want to make sure I'm getting in all those good. Oh, I can finish after this. Did Herbert fall back?
Yeah, he did.
Oh, good. Wonderful. That's great.
Perfect. Yeah, I respect that.
That just like those advance rate. So I made the Bulldog finals. The advance rates in that contest were great. It was like 2 of 10, 2 of 8 or something like that. So, something really good in the playoffs. And, the year before I was really only in like BBMs and puppies and those kind of things. And so all of them were like, obviously BBMs like Gauntlet, 1 of 13, 1 of 16, and then puppies are like 1 of 10 or something. And I had a really good advance rate. This was the 23 season. And then I get to playoffs and, I had no final sweats, semifinals. I had some teams, but I didn't have any like real true sweats. And so, I kind of vowed to myself that it would just be, kind of
quality over quantity.
Yeah. And advance rate snob, like looking for those contests. It's like, these are really good advance rates.
Likely Goddard.
Either of those is great in this contest. Yeah.
We'll go back to likely.
That works.
I think Andrews to me look very much on the decline last year, and I could totally see Andrews just kind of like a changing of the guard there. And if that's the case, like likely is way undervalued at 138. But
right. I've been taking both of them. I probably do have more likely, but I mean, you just gotta like inside the red zone. It's like Henry, Lamar and Andrews and likely.
Yeah. For sure. No, I like your point though, what you were saying about the quality over quantity, because I think so many times, like, we just want to do, a lot of volume and to get in as many drafts as possible. But then you don't pay attention to like what's going on in the draft room as well as you should. And so I've been kind of like trying to do more slow drafts this year, so that when I do get up on the clock, then I can be like, okay, this is,
take your time to think it through. Yeah. That was another thing. And my brother kind of got me into that. He does a ton of slow drafts, and he is a volume drafter, but he does a ton of slow drafts, and he got me more in that. And I think that was good. I mean, the Bulldog was a slow draft. It lets you kind of think through the structure of the team beyond just a player take. Like, do I like this player? Does this player fit on this team? Also, like, what structure am I trying to build? What am I trying to do? Do I have playoff correlation? All those things. Right. There's so many factors to think about when you're on the clock, and now they're 20-second clock. So I do a lot of slows as well. What are the running back? Oh, we did have
Algier, Eckler, Sampson.
I do like Eckler, but if you want to take a bigger swing later, if there's somebody else, I know we're down on time. So
let's take Eckler. I like that.
Okay, so what is the build right now? 2-5-5-1?
Yep.
Okay.
So pretty balanced.
Yeah.
We get another tight end, another wide receiver. We probably want to do another quarterback.
Yeah, I tended to lean 3 in this methodology, who finished first in BBM, which, I mean, I feel so bad for. I mean, he had a very successful season last year, but the 1 year BBM did not have a regular season prize. He finished first out of whatever 600,000 some.
Oh my gosh.
I would be insane. He seems to handle it much better than I would, but he had a very successful basketball season last year. But he was talking about that on Neil's show, and how he's applying that to then building in the marathon and that kind of stuff. And he said he likes 3. I've always kind of leaned 3 quarterback. What are the quarterback options in this?
Cam Ward is on the board. Then there's Rodgers.
I actually like Roger. Is there a receiver you like here that we could just
get it? Let's see. Let's say Wandale. We only got 3 seconds.
That's fine.
Yeah. I think Wandale's going to get a good amount of targets again.
So. Yeah. The nice thing about Rodgers, too, I wrote about this. He's going as well. I don't know if he's moved up since then. He's going as quarterback 28, and especially in a marathon contest, unless he gets in, like if he stays healthy, people can say what he wants about his age, or if you don't like him, he just went. But I'll finish my point that I do think he's going to outperform quarterback 28. And that's what you're looking to do in this. I don't think last year, I think in full season, he was maybe quarterback 20 and points per game. He was quarterback 15 or 16. He still offers that. In fact, he was my week 15 hero. He had 30 points week 15. So I think people just are totally writing off the, he's old. It's Arthur Smith offense, but I still think he could have his weeks. And I do think he'll outperform the quarterback 28 for sure.
I agree with that. And he's on a good team. That's the most important thing. They were good with Russell Wilson. They were good with, God, what's his face in Cleveland now? Pickett. Kenny Pickett. So yeah, I mean, Rodgers had some good weeks down the stretch.
Yeah.
And I think, being another year removed from that Achilles.
Yes. Yeah.
I agree. I think it's a good point.
Yeah.
But looks like he was picked.
So what are the quarterbacks left?
So he went right after Kim. So I think it's Richardson, Daniel Jones, and Shoup were in that group to start.
I mean, I take some Daniel Jones, but whatever, I don't think there's much, to the Shoup and Dart and that if they're not playing a full season.
Sure. I was about to auto, so I took Otten here.
I think getting another solid tight end. What are the tight ends left?
We got Mason Taylor, Waller, who just went on PUP today. Juwan Schultz, Jatavian Sanders.
Yeah. And what are the receivers here in this range?
We got Pat Bryant, DeAndre Hopkins, Michael Wilson, De'Ami Brown, Calvin Austin. So let's see. We got to take another.
Because definitely need one more receiver, right?
Definitely need, one more receiver, one more quarterback, probably, and one more tight end.
Yeah.
One of each, because we got. I think we're good at running back with what we got there.
Yeah. Then, whatever Colts. I'm on the Daniel Jones side of it. I don't know where you stand on that, but I think that's a fine click. Because
I've been there too. I've been taking Daniel Jones. So we could take Pat Bryant here.
Yeah, I definitely think he has upside to outperform
I just took Daniel Jones.
Yeah, I was gonna say he doesn't always come back because that we are to the point where if you want 3, there's really no other option. So I was gonna say I would just take Daniel Jones. I think that's smart. And then, there's plenty of other. I like Pat Bryant to outperform his ADP, but I also think there's plenty of other upside swing receivers.
Yeah. And that's why I didn't take his name, because I've probably taken enough Pat Bryant. And I'm like, Jalen Royals is a name I've been hearing more and more. I was listening to Matt Harmon's Reception Perception today, and he was saying Jalen Royals has a lot of Rashee Rice to his game. So
I did not realize that.
So
no,
he could be a guy. Maybe.
Yeah. You're looking for at this point, you just ideally don't want a dead roster spot and would like them to, do something for your lineup. So, I'm trying to think of the guys I've taken late in marathon earlier before Johnny Smith was at it. I was sprinkling in some of the other Pittsburgh receivers with like Austin and Roman Wilson, but now I feel like that's a little murkier. I like MVS with Seattle. Trying to think, obviously Slayton, Keenan Allen, but I'm sure they're all gone. So I think take the upside swings that, that make sense. Cause again, if they hear any if they do anything, they're outperforming their ADP.
Sure. Well, what do you think about tight end? We could go Arroyo. That'd be an upside swing. Or,
I definitely like Arroyo for the upside swing. Yeah.
He might be around later. Should we take? Oh, fuck. I got to take him. Too late. I took somebody. Looks like I took Royals. So there's that. At least I had someone queued up.
Yeah, you had it queued up. You had it ready to go. Yeah. So did Arroyo go, or is he there for the last pick?
He's at 211, so he should still be there at 9 picks.
Yeah.
If not, we got 3 other options here. Maybe Schultz, Juwan.
Yeah.
Have you been taking any Freiermuth with the addition of Jonnu?
I have.
Okay.
I think it's going to run through DK Metcalf and the tight ends. Obviously some passes to Jalen Warren. Obviously I think Calvin Austin, Roman Wilson will do something, but I think the 2 tight end, I think they will be able to use both of them. I know my brothers pulled some data on that and how Arthur Smith was able to use both Jonnu and Kyle Pitts. And obviously for Kyle Pitts that year, it was a total disappointment for him because of where he's drafted. But for their prices now, if basically they did what Jonnu and Pitts did on the Falcons' terrible offense with terrible quarterback play, if they got obviously hopefully better quarterback play with Aaron Rodgers,
sure,
did a little bit more at their current prices, they're going to pay off. Basically, it's kind of the summary of it. He definitely can present it better than I just did, but honestly, I do think they could both still get there for how late they're. I mean, now Freiermuth's going the last round.
Yeah, I know, that's crazy. And Arroyo went.
Okay, Arroyo went.
After us, of course he did. But
did Freiermuth go?
Freiermuth is still there, so
I've taken him a ton as an 18th round. I mean, like as your last tight end. I
love it right here.
Yeah,
absolutely.
So and that's why I mentioned Rodgers earlier, because he's easy to backstack, whether you want to get cute with one of those receivers or or with Freiermuth.
Yeah. Backstacks are good for sure, especially if you think they're going to outperform their ADP by a lot.
Right.
I love that.
I think that came together fairly well.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna let you kind of review this one. Can you see this pretty well? We got.
I can't see it probably well enough but I kind of remember it. If you want to read it, I can give my thoughts.
Absolutely. So we started with Christian McCaffrey, then went with Ladd, Marvin Harrison Jr. and Xavier Worthy. So kind of triple tapped wide receiver after the CMC start. So a little bit of an anchor build.
Mm-hmm.
Then went Mixon, Juwan Jennings, Stephon Diggs, Jordan Mason, and Purdy, which we were able to stack CMC with Jennings and Purdy.
I love that. Yeah. And
then
I can't remember the back half. Yeah, I can't remember the back half.
From there, we went J.K. Dobbins. We got Justin Herbert, who, we are able to stack with Ladd McConkey.
That's excellent. Yeah.
Yeah. Eckler, Wan'Dale Robinson, Kate Otten, Daniel Jones, Jalen Royals, and Pat Freiermuth. So Jalen Royals, a little bit of a secondary stack with Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
Without Mahomes.
Right, like a Chiefs, passing game.
It's a Chiefs stack, and we got it so late that, it doesn't matter, right?
Right, totally.
The only guy we didn't stack was Daniel Jones, but
he uses so much of his legs still.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think that's totally fine. I love it. I talked about getting the projectable volume at running back. We did. We have, in my opinion, 3 with McCaffrey, Mixon, and Jordan Mason, I think could get a lot of the goal line role. And then you still followed up with Eckler, and I'm trying to remember the 5th running back that still has like a workload where it's not just totally contingent value. Then 3-5-7-3 is my favorite type of build. So we still obviously address the receivers. We have really nice stacks for both the 49ers stack with Purdy and the Herbert and Ladd stack. Obviously more of a late round tight end build, but I do that a ton because I think you can cobble together a room that can score enough touchdowns at the position. I like the balance of it. I like that it's still correlated and stacked. And I like, especially at the running back position, still getting that kind of projectable volume and not relying on just like contingent guys.
Definitely. And, with the exception of starting with 2 white people with the first 2 spots, that's pretty good, Tattoo. I didn't even see that until you mentioned it. So thanks for the humor there. Thanks for pointing that out. I appreciate it. Well, Megan, this was fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. Thank you for having me.
Of course. Really appreciate you hopping on with all your best ball knowledge. And, I'll let you do it this time. Tell people where they can find your stuff at, where they can find your work.
Sure. Megs08 DFS on Twitter, of course, FanSpeak Network on YouTube. We're doing basically best ball shows almost every single day. Best Ball Jeopardy, as you mentioned, on most Wednesday nights, but pretty much best ball shows almost every single day or evening, including weekends. And we have a best ball Substack as well, just $34.99 for the year for rankings for all the different formats. So like this Eliminator, Marathon, Sprint, DraftKings, as well as the classic contests on Underdog. And my brother and I write at least 3 articles a week, kind of contextualizing those rankings. So a little bit of everything, articles, rankings, shows. Yeah. We have a little bit of everything. Links, I believe, are in the description. I really appreciate you guys having me on.
Of course. Yeah. Data, articles, entertainment, that's something we appreciate very much here at dfsarmy. So definitely check out our stuff. It's really good stuff over there at FanSpeak.
And one other thing we're doing, when we hit 1K subs, if we hit 1K YouTube subscribers before the NFL season, we're going to do a 24-hour live stream. So everybody likes to see people suffer through that. We do have multiple people that would do it, but we'll have some best ball Jeopardy. We'll have a lot of live drafts. We'll have a lot of fun things. So help us get there. And I can guarantee some good content for that. But yeah, FanSpeak Network's where to find us there.
Yeah, that'll be must watch. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Help them get to the 24-hour live stream. So
make us suffer.
Yes, exactly. And if you like this kind of content, let us know. Hit that like button. Make sure you are subscribed if you've never been here before. So we do best ball shows actually 4 times a week. So make sure you're subscribed so you never miss them when we go live. But thanks for watching. We will be back next week for another episode of Best Ball and Brews. We'll see you next time.
Oh shit. It's Chief ST, aka The Geek, and Kenyon McGee, DFS Army, Players Club VIP.